In this video, I'm going to share with you how to scale a consulting business. And I'm going to share with you some really great examples of people who have successfully scaled to tens and even hundreds of millions of dollars. In business, if you think about it, there are really only two ways to grow. The first is to raise prices, and the second is to increase the volume of what you sell. Now, if you're a consultant and you've already kind of hit your upper limit in terms of how many hours you want to be working and how you can raise your prices, then you've got to be looking at other ways to scale and grow your business. Luckily, this is what good business models are all about. Your business model is essentially the mechanism by which you turn your magic into money. That's my definition, by the way. And essentially, your business model determines how much money you can make, how many hours you work, how many people work with you, the technology you need in order to scale and grow, what kind of operations you need to become better and even excellent at. Now, if you're a good consultant, which I'm assuming that you are, then chances are you've built a sort of methodology around how to deliver results to clients. And also, chances are you've narrowed your focus to a specific type of client or a specific type of business that you consult with. If those things are the case, then you are absolutely at the perfect position to start to scale. Because what you can do is take that methodology that you've developed and do a couple of different things with it. You can either multiply that methodology by, for example, training other people to deliver it, certifying other consultants underneath you, or turning it into some sort of mechanism, some sort of do-it-yourself online system. Or another thing you can do is magnify your operation. In other words, you can have bigger clients at higher price points do the same thing that you're doing now. So these are two different ways of looking at scale. And one of the things to consider is you. So one of the biggest determiners of which type of strategy makes the most sense, multiply or magnify, is you and your unique gifts. If you are, for example, like me, you're someone who doesn't necessarily love all the operational details and project management and tracking and spreadsheets and analysis, then a magnify model might make more sense for you. Whereas if you're someone who really thrives on that analytical, mechanical, procedural type of work, then creating a multiply model might make more sense for you. So here are a couple of examples of people who've grown coaching practices into really huge operations and a little bit about how they did that. So the first one I want to use is actually the business of a really good friend of mine named Mike Michalowicz. So Mike Michalowicz is a superstar speaker who built an entire methodology called Profit First. So he wrote a book called Profit First, which was a new way of doing accounting to help entrepreneurs be more disciplined in generating profits in their business. Now, Mike Michalowicz is himself actually not an accountant, or at least that's not his background or his training. But he developed this methodology, which he then began to certify and sell to other accountants. In other words, he created this methodology and then started targeting accountants to train them in this methodology and generate certification sales from those accountants. And then one of the things he did that's so beautiful is that he created a long-term big back end from those accounting clients. So for example, he would certify those clients and then they could use his methodology, but he continued to every year give them more new material, more new ideas, more new strategies to grow their own businesses. And he started to create a real stable of accountant clients. So that's one example of a consulting methodology that grew beyond himself. He's not there working with clients like me. His accountants and his certified professionals, certified Profit First professionals is what he calls them, are out there on the front lines actually working with people so they can sit back, relax, and just do speaking engagements every once in a while to generate more visibility and exposure for the Profit First methodology. Another great example of someone who grew their consulting practice in a very unique and profitable way is a man named Gino Wickman. Gino Wickman wrote a book called Traction. Notice, by the way, that Mike Michalowicz and Gino Wickman both had books. So that's an important part of scaling a consulting business, is capturing your methodology in some sort of written format, i.e. a book. So Gino Wickman wrote Traction, and Traction is all about how to operationally scale a business, how to do meetings effectively, how to hire effectively, how to create a 3-year vision, how to create processes and procedures and standard operating procedures and all of this stuff. The book is fantastic, but people like me read the book and we get, I don't know how to do this. I don't want to do this by myself. Well, Gino did something beautiful. He basically certified consultants in his methodology of Traction. And the way that he makes money from that is, number one, through that certification process, but also by providing materials. So for example, when I hired my Traction consultant, my professional, her name is Amanda, and she was amazing. Amanda said, hey, listen, I'm going to send you a set of binders. I'm going to send you worksheets. I'm going to send you all these materials that we're going to use together. And it wasn't even just for me. It was for me and everyone on my team. Everyone on my team got a binder. Everyone on my team got a box full of materials that we used through the process of implementing Traction in my business. So Gino Wickman's company, Traction, is making money not only on the certification part, but also on selling those back-end materials. Other ways that you can scale your consulting practice is to create do-it-yourself courses online, to do train the trainer. So basically you have people on your own team or your own staff that you train that you can send out to represent you in the world. You can create a franchise, much like Action Coach franchise was created. There are lots of different ways to scale a consulting business. And the most important thing to remember is to make sure that the methodology that you use to scale, whether multiply or magnify, is aligned with your gifts so that you stay in your lane doing the thing that you love the most. So often people start to scale their business and they think that they have to do it this one way, and they end up 5 or 10 years down the line resenting or even hating the business that they once loved. If you liked this video, then this is just the beginning of the conversation on how to scale. I have many other videos that you can check out by clicking the link above, my playlist on how to scale your coaching or consulting business. And please like and subscribe to my channel.